Is Mayor live, and I bet you don't know where I am. I don't know where I am. No, I'm at Animal Adventure in Florida. We've been here before. About a year ago, we did a great show here with all of the animals. You see it on social media all over the place. Animal Ed, animaladventure.com. You'll see you'll see everything about it. You can't come here, but you come here by reservation on Friday to Sunday. You call up, you make a reservation. This way, you're assured of being able to have a chance to see the animals, interact with them, and you won't be overcrowded. You know what it's like. If this is not a zoo, this is a highly I don't know how to describe it, but sophisticated operation. I mean, you'll learn a lot about these animals that you can't imagine. I have, and if you're interested, I'm not going to even say if you love animals. If you're interested in life, you're going to want to come here, and we're going to have them on very very shortly. But today I had a personal stake in a number of the things that were going on. Number one, Fani, quite contrary, and Loverboy. Now, how would you feel if these people get on the witness stand? I'm sorry, they look like liars to me, but even if they're not lying, she's his boss. She is running the most sensitive case in the United States. She hires him at a ridiculous amount of money. I know what you pay to prosecutors. She's paying about 4 times what you would normally pay. I also know something that none of the wise guy lawyers pointed out. She doubled the fee. She doubled the fee by having an unnecessary grand jury. She had a grand jury before the grand jury. We don't do rehearsals for grand juries. I mean, grand jury's been around since the Magna Carta. I don't think there's ever been a rehearsal grand jury. I've probably done 5,000 grand juries. What she did was she had a first grand jury. She called all the witnesses of the first grand jury. You were told when you went, because I went and testified. They can't indict. They just make a report. Now, they were unorthodox. They were unorthodox. How about this if you go in a grand jury? Now, I've been in grand juries with, considering cases on some of the worst criminals in the world, right? Mafia, terrorists, Nazis, major Wall Street criminals. At the end of my grand jury testimony, they asked for 4 different people asked for pictures. We didn't used to give pictures in the grand jury. 5 autographs, a kiss on the cheek, and then I was asked to go to Fani, quite contrary's office because she wanted to talk to me. Well, I thought maybe, I don't know what she wanted. She wanted to tell me how she always thought I was a great prosecutor. Only thing she's right about. And so my lawyer, Bob Costello, who is a great lawyer, and I don't, he's right about everything else. He said, "Oh, she's not going to indict you. She likes you. She admires you." And that guy Wade, I said, I can feel slime. I've been dealing with it too long. I can just feel it. I can feel slime. And by the way, the one thing for sure was he didn't know what he was doing. This guy hadn't even taken, grand jury litigation for dummies. This was terrible thing. That she's paying him a premium to do this is ridiculous. She has to have 10 people in her office that could have done this like that. And by the way, it's not an easy case if it were a real one, but it's not a real racketeering case. The whole case is a make-believe case. And I kept saying to myself, why are we doing this grand jury? And so did Bob. Of course, the minute I found out about the money, I got it. That means she can pay him not 500, but $1 million. Do it twice. Their explanations today were close to idiotic. He bought the tickets and she reimbursed, like he bought the plane tickets, let's say for $4,000. She went into her little cash purse because she carries around 4 or 5 grand with her. She paid him off in cash. He was certain of one thing. Very little was he certain of. He was certain of one thing. He never got paid by check, and he never got paid where there's a receipt. Now, he had a pretty bad memory. Why would he remember that? Because it's easy to remember it, because it never happened. It's easy to remember when it never happened. You really see Fanny going into that purse. It didn't look all that big, and reaching in and pulling out $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. Oh, by the way, they have no. Did I have to tell you they have no receipts? You know they have no receipts, right? They have no receipts. She claims she always kept large amounts of money around the house for some reason. So now it should be pretty easy for the IRS to take a look at her bank accounts and where that money came from. Fanny, were you reporting it? We got some reported cash on your tax returns, Fanny. You know this is going to blow up on you. This is like when you lied and you said you didn't have a sexual affair with him before you hired him, and your good friend ratted you out, huh? Yeah. This is a terrible case, and it's terrible because before we even get into and we won't tonight, but before we get into the depths of all of the legal reasons to throw this case out, it's a case of this magnitude where so much depends on interpretation, uh, legal judgment of the highest order. Slime balls like this should not be making the decision. They're too slimy to be on a case like this. The court should throw it out. There was once a case before Justice Jackson, and he almost used the words he wanted to. He found better language for it. Something like it shocks the conscience. What he really wanted to say was it smells up the courthouse. The prosecutor was so unethical, so dishonest. That's what we got here. And this is too important a case to have doubts about it. I mean, God forbid you get in front of a jury that's all Democrats, like a DC jury where a Republican cannot get a fair trial. Ask any honest lawyer. And you know, the moment of truth for a lawyer, you got a client, the client's offered a plea. The plea is not so nice. It means you're going to have to go to jail for a few years. And the client says to you, please evaluate my chances at trial. Got to be the hardest thing for a lawyer to do. None of us are fortune tellers. All of us know that trials can turn out wildly different than you think. We probably can feel more comfortable about some than others. But if you have a Trump defendant in the District of Columbia and they ask you, can I get a fair trial in a District of Columbia jury? And you don't tell them you're going to get convicted, you're committing malpractice. And I guarantee you any honest lawyer will tell you that, even Democrat lawyers. Isn't that terrible? In other words, our court in the District of Columbia could be in good old East Germany. Well, we could have a jury like that here in Atlanta, right? It is all Democrat. It's crooked as hell. Fanny is a product of it, really. I mean, what you heard there, nobody in Atlanta is shocked. They're all, not all, but a good many of them are taking grafts. So a president convicted on that kind of questionable, ooh. And also just a poor little lawyer like me. I don't want to die in jail. And if I die in jail, I'd like to get convicted by somebody. Well, I'm only kidding around now. This is not something to kid around about, but I think this case is on the way to where it belongs, the dung heap of history. Maybe I'll tell you the other one where I was a character. The intelligence community fingered 27 Trump people to follow us. This is new too. I knew a while back that they went and did a search warrant on my iCloud account within a few days of my representing President Donald Trump. That would be way back, believe it or not, in 2018. And they kept it until 2021. Every day, looking at everything I did. And obviously, at the beginning, it wasn't because of me. It was because I was representing someone. Do you realize how unconstitutional that is? Do you realize how illegal that is? Do you realize how un-American that is? Do you realize how unfair that is? Not even to me, but to him, who has a right to counsel. And what about my other clients? When they came and raided my law office, they invaded the privacy of a number of other clients. Got to tell you, they weren't too happy about it, or with me. They destroyed my law practice, but they didn't care. I mean, probably was the objective. They got nothing out of it. Within a year and a half of looking at my business records for 20 years, and they have like real criminals to go after. They wrote a 1 or 2 page letter to the grand jury. They didn't even have the courtesy to send it to me, saying we were unable to find any probable cause that Mr. Giuliani committed any crime. So then how did they have probable cause to search me? No. So this is what we're watching playing out. I can give you my personal part of it. There are people that went through less than me. People went through a lot worse than me. But don't feel sorry for me. Feel sorry for the J6 people. They have been tortured. And those people should really get hit very hard for it. But I have a feeling it's starting to unravel. I really, really do. I think it's unraveling. I've had that feeling before, and it didn't. So don't count on it. Before I get to what I want to talk about, the animals, Kansas City shooting, I guess it looks like just a strange fight between out of control kids. That's what it looks like. Now, who knows? They're giving us very little details. There were, looks like of the 3 people arrested, there were 2 shooters and possibly a guy trying to stop it. Now, this is not gospel at all. This is just what I get from reading and a few little snippets. So it's not. I don't think it's going to turn out to be of national security consequence. But it is not just another example of what we're going through in Biden land. I mean, this is a much more disordered, a much more illegal, a much more dangerous country than it was just 4 years ago. If there's anybody here that can answer the question, they're better off now than 4 years ago. I know any number of hospitals or psychiatrists that can treat them. Russia has now says it's put up a satellite to put nuclear weapons in space. Now, these nuclear weapons are intended to take down satellites. They're not intended to hit us, but to take down our satellites and to dominate and to win the war for domination of space. Now, it was put out by an extremely responsible Congressman, Mike Turner, and I don't think there's a reason like something is going to happen. They were all very careful to say there's no immediate threat, so don't get all upset. I think he put it out because I'm sure he put it out because the administration is going to do some way of lying about it, like they do everything else, and trying to make it euphemistic. Just like remember when Christopher Wray testified a few weeks ago that there are basically national security threats. They're all over America, like cockroaches in New York. And like you sit there saying, gee, how did that just happen? And when he was asked, can you explain to us how it happened? He did this will be his portrait, by the way, in the FBI gallery. He doesn't know how it happened. Gee, maybe when Biden opened the border on January 20th, 2021, asked people to surge to the border and to come in, and we're not going to check them anymore. Maybe the terrorists thought, wow, that's a pretty good idea. And this is why we're terrorists, because we take advantage of jackasses. And he's a Democrat, he's a jackass, and they took advantage of him. Look, Ray is such a liar. He's been doing nothing about this for 3 years. Now he's coming around telling us we should be worried about it, to cover his backside when there's an attack. He should have done something about it 3 years ago when this traitor in the White House started letting them in. How about this one? How about this one? This is about, I can't get the exact date of this. I will try to get it. It was this year, earlier. I think we actually asked more. I remember way back we asked more. But I think in the Trump administration, we actually asked more questions. But in the Biden administration, for the first couple of years, we had particularly more questions for Chinese coming in illegally. Well, of course you would. The Chinese are our enemies. The Chinese want to take over by 2048. The Chinese, we already know, have put police in America. They've had police stations. They've infiltrated colleges. We've convicted them. We had a task force to try to find them and get them out that Biden canceled. We asked 40 questions of a person coming in illegally seeking asylum. Do you know about, I don't know how many months ago, I'm going to say 6. We changed it to, guess how many? Guess how many? How many questions would you ask a potential spy? 1, 2, 3, 4 questions for a potential spy. And then what do we do to check on the questions? Well, why should we check them? They are Chinese. Are you a communist spy? No. Do you belong to the Chinese Communist Party? No. Will you steal anything? No. Will you rape anyone? No. Come in. Come on. You're in. Let's get him a nice, and by the way, if he goes to New York, he'll get a credit card, prepaid, so he can get Chinese food if he doesn't like the food at the shelter. He'll also get health insurance, better than veterans, and he can put his kid in school up to college. And if he doesn't like his residence, he'll get 3 or 4 choices. So come on, pick the place you want to spy and go locate yourself there. Biden is going to subsidize you. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Putin has made his choice for president. Putin picks Biden. Putin says to himself, I got to be the luckiest murdering evil bum in the world. 4 years of Biden, I got to attack again. When Bush was around, I attacked Georgia. When Prince Obama was around, drawing red lines and, doing nothing, I got to take a big percentage of Ukraine. And he armed the Ukrainians with slingshots. So I was able to solidify it. And now with Dodo Brain in the White House, I was able to take the rest of what I wanted in Georgia. And now they've stalled. And since they can't get the money to the front lines because they're all stealing it, I'll keep it. So of course he wants Biden. Of course he wants Biden. Not going to get Biden. And he's not going to attack anymore. Because if you notice that little scenario I did, there's one time he didn't attack. You know the one time he didn't attack? The 4 years that Trump was in office. You need any more proof? No, you don't. So now we're going to take a short break. And when we come back, I'm going to be under attack. And not by the Democrats. Towers Foundation delivers on its promise to do good and never forget the sacrifices America's greatest heroes have made for us. Heroes who risked their lives to keep our communities and our country safe. Heroes like United States Marine Corps Captain and pilot John Jeremy Sachs. Captain Sachs sustained fatal injuries when his military aircraft crashed during training, killing him and 5 other service members. He's remembered by loved ones as courageous, brilliant, and devoted to his career, family, and friends. John is survived by his wife, Amber, who gave birth to their second daughter 3 months after his death. Tunnel to Towers paid the mortgage on the family home for Amber and their 2 daughters. The foundation has helped over 1,000 military and first responder families navigate the worst of times by removing the burden of a mortgage payment. Our nation's heroes and their families need your help now more than ever. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org. T2T.org. That's T, the number 2T.org. T2T.org. Please donate now.
All right, hold on. Good news, that wasn't
Towers Foundation delivers on its promise to do good and never forget the sacrifices America's greatest heroes have made for us. Heroes who risked their lives to keep our communities and our country safe. Heroes like United States Marine Corps Captain and pilot John Jeremy Sachs. Captain Sachs sustained fatal injuries when his military aircraft crashed during training, killing him and 5 other service members. He's remembered by loved ones as courageous, brilliant, and devoted to his career, family, and friends. John is survived by his wife, Amber, who gave birth to their second daughter 3 months after his death. Tunnel to Towers paid the mortgage on the family home for Amber and their 2 daughters. The foundation has helped over 1,000 military and first responder families navigate the worst of times by removing the burden of a mortgage payment. Our nation's heroes and their families need your help now more than ever. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org. T2T.org. That's T, the number 2T.org. T2T.org. Please donate now. This is Rudy Giuliani back on America's Mayor Live, and I'm borrowing a technique that I learned watching Rocky Tanaka sitting with dogs. And oh, Rocky! So I just spilled some water. So here. So first he says you should leave the treat so the dog can get it himself. Go ahead. Here. Oh, now this is how we make friends now. Okay, come. You want to eat out of my hand? All right.
Oh, that's so good.
And one more. Oh, what about you? What about you guys? What do you got here? What do you? Oh, you come in and just take over? What's his name?
That's Eleanor. This is Franklin.
Franklin, Eleanor's pushing you around. That's the way it was.
So we're here with our friend Alexandra. You might remember her from last
Here.
year.
What is?
Say hi, Bean.
I'll put one.
Wait, everybody.
Alexandra, who do we have with you today?
This is Bean. He is one of the newest additions to our family. We just
Franklin.
rescued him, and Franklin's stealing the show, eating his grapes on camera.
You good little monkey. Oh,
But
I think.
that's Eleanor.
I was getting all truffle.
Yeah.
So what? So let's. This is a rescue dog.
This is a rescue, yes.
Yeah, but look what a beautiful rescue dog.
He is. He is the cutest little thing ever.
So can you tell what kind of dog he is? I mean, he looks like a.
Yes, so we actually, when we brought him to the vet, we actually got him a DNA test, which is a They just same thing that when people do DNA tests and send them in to find their family members, they do the same thing for dogs. And he loves belly rubs. And we just found out that he is a mix of 13 different breeds. And he's 4 to
He's
6.
very healthy.
Yeah, yeah. They say actually with the amount of breeds that he has is a super healthy genetically wise. It's super healthy for him. But he is a mix of Chihuahua, Dachshund. He's got, believe it or not, golden retriever in him. We were
I can
told.
see a little lab.
Yeah, he has
Well,
yeah,
golden
lab in
and
him.
lab,
Yeah.
pretty much the same. I see a little bit in the face.
Apparently he also
always say-
has Pipple in him, which we were yeah. Pipple, yeah. Apparently he's got some Pipple in him as well.
What is that?
They're like the same thing as like do you know what a Staffordshire Terrier is?
Sure. They're
Similar to them as well. But they are. Oh, what do you think?
Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
And he is the most sweetest thing.
How old?
He's only 3 months old.
Oh, so he is a
Yeah,
puppy.
he is a puppy. He's only been with us for about a month.
He's beyond having to take mother's milk now. Right?
Yeah, yeah. So he eats
Still
solid
giving
food.
milk. He's still-
No, not at this age. At this age, he's already on a hard food diet.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And he's very food motivated, so that helps. He's super smart, so he does a phenomenal job.
Is it rare for a dog not to be food motivated?
Yeah, it is pretty rare, but I
on.
have met actually one of my dogs that
Yes.
well, we do have some new friends coming in too.
Well, he wants a little water.
Let me get the
I just trying to drink the water.
right here. Who do we have here?
Coming into the frame is Franklin. You can see his really long tail.
Franklin here.
Say hi, buddy.
Climbing up on the bear.
So this guy, like taking it out of there. He didn't like my giving it to him. Whoa! He's making a move.
Oh my goodness.
Whoa! You like to balance it? You like to balance it? Oh my goodness! We're knocking over the water. We got a little towel here.
Yeah.
Time for balance of nature for the animal here. I don't know if these capsule forms are good for them. I think you would have to break it down. So the human is taking his pills. balanceofnature.com/Rudy. 35% off. Who's this guy here?
That's Franklin.
Franklin, I'm going to try something with you.
We have Franklin and Eleanor. The spells.
Yes.
Yeah, and with no communists around. Come here, Bubs. Come here, Bubs. Come here. Where are you?
Try some. Look.
Come here. Come here. Come here.
Oh, get some belly rubs.
Give her a shot.
Want some?
Oh yeah, you want to try it?
Is it E and Eleanor?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think?
Okay.
So
Well, we'll see.
put them all up with their names.
We've got some grapes here too.
Yeah, what I'll do is
So tell us a little bit. Is that Franklin or Eleanor?
This is Eleanor. She's a spider monkey.
Spider Monkey.
Some of the biggest characteristics that people notice most about spider monkeys are going to be their tails. They have prehensile tails, so they could use them to wrap onto things. And then also the fact that instead of having 5 fingers on their hand, they only have 4 of them, which is pretty cool. And then Franklin, he's up here on my shoulder.
Get them all a shot. This is awesome. They're not getting along. Are they buddies or?
They're best friends. They're more like brother and sister, I consider them to be. And they get along really, really well. They play with each other all the time. They always share each other's food. It's actually really amazing to see how they get along so well too.
So Rob ate these, Yeah, Rob said the fruits really taste good. So maybe if I put a little of the fruit in here.
Oh yeah, you want to try some of that?
Yeah, take a shot at the fruit. See what you think. No?
No.
So here we are. That's Eleanor.
This is Franklin now.
No, so Franklin's
Yes.
the one with the white. We both got white pants on.
But Franklin, biggest thing to tell him apart from Eleanor is he's got a lot more white on his face. You could see Eleanor's a lot darker in her face. She's She's gonna go steal the show.
We've got a pen now.
But it's so his coloration is actually a lot more rare. Franklin would be considered to be a piebald spider monkey because of the coloration that he has.
This is awesome.
I do want to say one thing, which I don't know if any of your viewers watched
I'll have
you
them
last
back.
time, but last time you were here,
Huh?
Mayor, Franklin was just recovering from being super sick after we had rescued him.
I remember that.
And he had never gone to anybody else except for you.
Really?
And we didn't ask him to go to you, but I don't know if you remember, but he came right
Yes.
to you,
Yeah.
and you were cuddling with him.
Yeah.
And you are legitimately the only person that he's ever gone off one of us and it came to you, which I thought was one of the coolest things ever.
Oh, come here, Franklin. Come here, my Franklin.
Eleanor. How old are Franklin and Eleanor? They're about 15 months old right now.
Look how cute it is. Look how cute Franklin is.
Look at this. What a great picture. You have Franklin and Eleanor.
Maybe Franklin would like a little of this here. I think he liked this. The low in calories too, Franklin. You'll stay skinny. Here you go, Franklin. Yeah. What do you think? No? No? No good? Franklin? Hey, Franklin. What do we Hey, one second. Monkeys are very smart, remember?
Super smart.
Yeah.
They are. Look, they're grabbing.
Look at this guy. Go ahead, Franklin. Go have some fun with your friends there. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So what? How do these guys spend their days?
Oh, you took
So-
it, huh?
So these guys, they spend a lot of time
You
playing.
took it, huh?
Playing and eating is a big part of a spider monkey's day. One of their favorite things to do is that we've got lots of ropes in their enclosure that they love to swing from, and they can make anything into a toy. I think that's my favorite thing about them is everything is fun for them, and they can entertain themselves all day long, which is the best part about them. Would you like to say something? Oh, no.
What the heck with that thing there?
Oh, so they just like to hang out on you.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah, they just hang out all day long.
all day.
Yep.
What do they eat?
Notice he walked away. He walked away with one of my pens there.
Oh yeah, but they can
What are
eat
you gonna go write a
all
novel?
different types of fruits and vegetables. They like to eat all different types of seeds and nuts as well. The seeds and nuts are really good for them, but all different types of fruits and veggies. If I had to choose a favorite for them, I'd probably say grapes or bananas are their favorite fruit. And then for vegetables, they really like carrots. Those are probably one of their tops.
What are you looking for, babes?
And have you noticed
What do you got there? What do you got? What do you got?
Yeah,
What do you
How do they
have?
communicate? Do they communicate with you?
they can.
In ways that are hostile. In case they're listening to learn.
Yeah, so they'll
I
they'll
think
make
you
a
like
bunch of
me.
different noises. Yes.
What happened to our doggy?
He's
Will the dog let me hold it?
he may. Yeah. We can bring him back over here. So let's see. I'll go
Okay,
in.
So that's Franklin and Eleanor, and now we have
Love these guys.
Bean. Yeah.
After you've been
Spider Monkey. We got a band name here.
All right.
The Spider Monkeys.
Good job, buddy.
let me give you one of these here.
Oh, we have Bean, and we've already talked about Bean. He's a
Yeah.
rescue dog.
He is a rescue.
Yeah,
He's only been with us for about a month now, and he has been probably the easiest puppy I have ever met.
Good appetite.
Great appetite. He was potty trained the day I met him, which is amazing. I don't know. It's something I've never seen it before. Where
How
I've-
old was he when you met him?
8 weeks old when we found him at
Is it?
the shelter.
I mean, isn't that unusual? At 8 months, at 8 weeks.
Super unusual. We were shocked when we found out that
So it means he goes out.
yeah, he'll go outside. He's a great listener. We have a lot of other dogs on the farm as well, and they have helped a ton getting him super
Are they
acquainted to
friendly?
the other
Are
animals.
they friendly with him?
Super friendly. He gets along with all the dogs, which is also really rare for right at first all the dogs to really love each other, and they all love him, which is it was like he was meant to be here, which is
Well,
amazing.
You know something?
Mhm.
You're a special dog.
He is very special.
You're very,
He's very special. Yeah.
you're very special Bean. Good boy.
Yeah, he is the
You're
best little thing.
Good boy. Good boy, Bean. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah.
Oh, he's cleaning up after the monkeys.
That's good.
So you're an animal adventure partner. So
Yeah.
talk about what you do with these rescue dogs.
Is he having some of that? Want a few more treats?
Yeah,
Want a
so
treat?
this has become my best friend very, very quickly. So he'll be here forever. And he's more of like he's more of my companion than anything because he helps me so much. So he's the best.
That's right. So we're here at Animal Adventure Park and Safari with Sean and his whole family. Just what a great place. We've seen Bean, the rescue dog. We've
Maybe
some
a
fun
group.
with Eleanor and
Does Bean bark? Bean bark?
He's a better guard dog than my big dog that I have. He barks at everything.
How big are you gonna be?
It's hard to say because of the fact that
Can you tell by
we
the
weren't.
paws or something?
So typically you could tell by his paws, but he's pretty small all the way around. He hasn't gotten much bigger since I met him. So I'm assuming he's not going to be huge, especially since the breeds that he's mixed with aren't naturally really big. So I'd say he probably at the biggest will double in size, and that's
But he
it.
has a big dog's face.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
But he's gonna be the cutest puppy no matter
And
what.
we think a gorgeous face.
Yeah, his little eyebrows are my favorite.
Yeah, yeah. Great, like classical dog face.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, and look at those eyes, so innocent. Yeah, I bet you could cause a lot of trouble though.
Yeah.
I bet you can. Pretty soon, huh? Pretty soon you're gonna be causing a lot of trouble.
so does Bean interact with the other animals quite a bit?
He-
Think about how the animals interact here at the park with so many.
So what's amazing about him is he has gotten along with every animal I've introduced him to. His favorite animals are probably the kangaroos, especially the baby kangaroos, which
Oh,
we can actually bring yeah, we'll actually bring one in for everybody to see.
does he try to go in the pouch?
So he will yeah, he'll literally try. He puts his whole head in the pouch.
See, puppy.
Yep. Oh,
Crazy, see puppy.
see the puppy? Yeah. It's
You
Bean.
want to feed the puppy?
So he will try and go in kangaroo pouches. He plays with them. He tries to eat kangaroo food. Yeah, you love Bean.
Hi, puppy.
His tail started wagging right when you.
Honey, want to give honey?
It's a family affair here.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Want to give him? Want to give him some food?
Hello, hello. I'm on daddy duty today.
What?
Yeah. It's nice. Mr. Bean is nice, huh? Bean is nice. What's that? You want to feed him?
Yeah, come here.
You want to feed
Feed him a little snack here. You got to open your hand. Right? This is wonderful. Open your hand and say, there you go. Oh, is that great? You like that? You like that?
Want to touch his nose?
Thank you, Bean.
You want to give him some?
Give him a little nose.
Boop.
And can you give Pop Pop a kiss on the cheek?
Oh, Papa.
Yeah, I love you, Pop Pop. There you
Oh.
go.
See, he's in love. He's in love.
Good job. Okay,
You
I
want
hear there
Pop-
may be a baby kangaroo coming in, so I'm going to get out of it. Nobody gets to see me. Everyone wants to see the kangaroo, so I'm getting out.
Here comes
Grace,
the
you
kangaroo.
want to stay in here? I don't know.
What do you think?
Want to stay and see the kangaroo?
You like kangaroos,
Here
Grace?
comes the kangaroo.
Oh wow, this is happening.
Oh,
I'm gonna hold
pop,
it,
pop, pop, pop.
Oh my
little
goodness.
baby.
Look what I have. I have a kangaroo.
See the kangaroo?
And her name is Kira.
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 How are you, Kira?
Kira.
Kira with a K.
Kira. Oh, that's like
She's a kangaroo.
like an Australian
The
name.
kangaroo. dish.
Kira. Aren't
Yeah.
you sweet? Are you a baby, Kira?
That's right. Pop, pop, pop.
Grace, this is Kira.
Say hi,
Want
Kira.
to say hi to Kira? Pop has him.
You want to pet Kira?
Here. You just pet.
Hi, Kira.
Oh,
Mm.
one baby to another. She's a baby. You like babies, right?
You like baby kangaroos? What do kangaroos like to do? That they hop, hop, hop. You say it louder?
See how smart my granddaughter is?
Hop, 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 hop.
See how smart she is? Hop. Do you hop, Kira? Yeah. Look at her little.
How old is Kira?
Kira's about 7 months old right now.
Oh,
So she's
Look at
still gets bottled
Honey,
milk, but
look at her
then she
tail.
also eats kangaroo food and she eats hay as well.
look at her tail.
Yeah.
That's a big tail, huh?
And
Yeah.
Grace has fed Kira.
Look at
Yeah.
her.
You
Grace
fed
has
Kira?
given Kira bottles
You gave her
before.
a bottle?
Yeah.
You fed Kira?
Wow.
Kira must like
Yeah.
you. Oh yeah, see, she waved. Oh, she gave me a kiss.
Uh,
Oh, that's nice. She said 7 months old.
7 months old.
Oh,
And
She
she's
likes-
such a
maybe she
good
likes to
girl.
Go like this, like a little baby. Oh, little baby. Yeah.
Talk about Kira and what will Kira's journey be here at the adventure park?
Why did
Yeah. So she Because she's a little bit smaller, she's staying in the house with my family and I at the moment, so we could bottle feed her, make sure she's doing everything she's supposed to do to be a healthy
She's staying in the
kangaroo.
house.
And then once she gets a little bit bigger, she'll move outside with the rest of our kangaroos that have been born with us or that we've rescued. And then she'll actually help us teach people about kangaroos and how awesome they are. And hopefully one day she'll be able to have babies of her own, which will be really cool
Of
too.
course. Of course. Maybe we can take a
Oh, New York City, a kangaroo in New York City. I don't know.
Grace, would
They
you like
allow
to take-
illegal migrants in New York
would you
City,
like
but
to
I
take
didn't
a
know
home?
about kangaroos.
Want to take a home with us?
If you go to New York City, you will get a debit card. So you should come up.
Oh yeah, you're a
New
migrant.
York City. You don't get it in
But
Florida.
you can't claim asylum. You're getting
Well, maybe
treated
you
too
won't
well.
get it. That's
You're
true.
getting treated too well.
That's why he's the best mayor in the history of New York City.
Well,
Case in point. We should leave on that, right? Should we leave on that note? We'll leave on that note.
yeah.
Enjoy your hopping around, kangaroo.
All right.
And that's Grace, everybody. Bye, Grace.
They say bye-bye.
Oh,
Grace,
Grace
Grace was looking forward to seeing the animals all day. She told me about the kangaroos and the zebras. Yeah, she told me about you.
She's falling asleep.
What a sweet little girl you are. Hmm.
You're a natural with the kangaroos, Mayor.
Yeah, she loves you.
And you have a number of kangaroos here. How did you?
Yeah, they have a lot.
So
A
many
lot of kangaroos.
So majority of them are rescues. If they weren't rescued, they were born here. These guys will have several babies a year.
Wow.
And they are really good moms. So they do a phenomenal job raising their babies. So I think over time
They
they've
have to protect them from the. Isn't there an issue about protecting them from the males?
So there could potentially become an issue because the male kangaroo she's falling asleep because the male kangaroos are so much larger than them. But in our experience with the alpha males that we have, I have never seen any of our male kangaroos try and hurt any of our babies. They're very good
Really?
dads, yeah. But in the wild, it could be a different story. I can't speak much for the ones there, but
How many alphas do you have?
we have two alpha males. Their names are Bo and Duke.
Right. I saw them one sparring a little bit.
Yeah,
They
they're
spar.
big.
It's hard to tell, right? They spar for fun.
They
It's
will.
part of exercise
Yep.
for them. But then I guess it could get serious. too,
Yeah.
right?
So, and there's a lot of when they're playing, and then if it's more serious, you can listen to the noises that they'll make when they are
When
doing
is
it.
does breeding time make it
Yeah.
more serious? And
Yeah.
is there a breeding time? Is there a certain
Breeding time for kangaroos is like all year round,
male and female?
male and female. But there's a so usually in like the springtime, the males will start getting very hormonal, and they will actually secrete a red liquid from the pores on their chest, and it's actually to attract the females to them.
So is
more.
that when the females get more
Yeah.
involved?
Yeah, but even still all year round, even when that doesn't happen, they'll still mate all year round, but sometimes it's more serious certain times of the
If you
year.
put them together, do they mate?
So it actually it depends because there's actually been instances where you can have a group of 10 female kangaroos and put a male in there with them, and if they don't like that male, they won't mate with him. Yeah. So
They're pretty particular.
they're pretty yeah, so they have to feel protected by their alpha in order
So
to
now the two alphas
reproduce.
that you have, are there certain ones that females that prefer one or the other?
Not that I've seen. The only thing that we put preference in place for is obviously the alphas that are related to any of our females. We don't keep them together, so there's no inbreeding
Could that be-
between. So
could
because
that
that
be
could
dangerous?
potentially be yeah
Even like as for humans?
yeah. So but that's the only preference that we have. We don't let them inbreed just for their own safety,
So
of course.
who is her daddy and mommy? Right here.
Yeah. So her mom's name is Kiana and her dad's name is Bo.
No, they hear us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're both here. Yep.
Now is she beyond the stage where she's not dependent on mommy anymore?
Not really. So that's actually why we end up bringing them in the house with us because what happens is they're in their mom's pouches for anywhere between 6 to 9 months. But once mom tries kicking them out of the pouch, she typically won't let them back in. So then once we realize that she's kind of hands off raising the babies, that's when we step in and we like to bring them in the house for about a month or two to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do. They're healthy. This way we can have the vet come out and do everything they need to do. And then It also allows us to maintain a really awesome relationship with them so that when they are older, they could trust us and be able to let us handle
So
them.
she obviously is very comfortable.
She's very comfortable. Yeah,
Yeah.
she loves people. She's such a sweet kangaroo. But
So,
kangaroos in general, all of our kangaroos love people.
so normally they would stay with mommy. How long?
About 6 to 9 months in the pouch, but then once they come out of the pouch, they're with their families their whole
So-
lives.
He was at. She was in the pouch for
Mhm.
9 months.
Every kangaroo is different. So
Yeah.
each kangaroo will figure out the best time for their baby. So one of our kangaroos, once her baby hits 6 months old, she kicks him out of the pouch.
All of them.
Yeah, she's just like, all right, 6 months old.
Independent mom.
Yep. Where one of our other kangaroos, Keegan, who's actually her grandma.
I met Keegan today.
Yeah. So Keegan will keep her baby in the pouch for as long as she possibly can. Like her babies will come out of the pouch 10 pounds because she just keeps them in there because she loves them. Her mom, this is actually her mom's first time having a baby was Kira. So this is her first time. She actually did a really great job with her. She kept the pouch really clean. She was the baby was super clean when she came out too. So she did a great job.
And then after how many weeks did she let her out?
She was about 6.5 months old, judging by the size she
And
was
that's
when
when
she
you took her
started.
in? That's
Yeah.
when you took
And
her in?
that's when she came in with us.
And now how old are you?
She's about 7 months old now.
You're still a little
Yeah.
baby. You're still. And you like to be held like a little baby,
Yeah.
don't you?
She could be held like that all day long.
Oh yeah. You're so cute. You're really adorable.
Yeah. I think we need to hire the mayor as our kangaroo babysitter.
Yeah, I'd be happy.
Our animals love it.
Yeah.
Like crazy.
Look at her. She can't even stay awake.
Look at this guy. Look at you, my little baby. Oh,
What they say about animals, they know.
They know.
They know. They can feel your energy.
Oh, yeah.
They can feel everything. And
that's the sleepy. Time for the
I have to say,
sleepy.
even with Bean, the dog that was just on, he does not like being passed off to other people. And the mayor was the first person I've ever been able to pass him off to without him coming right back to me, which is pretty
How
cool.
much does he sleep?
She'll sleep all day long if I let her. So I actually have to monitor how much she stays in the pouch.
Does she need a certain amount of exercise too for health?
Yeah, so this way because when they're out of the pouch, it's really important for them to eat a solid diet. So we feed them kangaroo food and then we also feed them hay as well. So I like to try and give them several hours out of the pouch so that they can start eating that solid food too, because it's really good for their teeth. Right. Yeah.
You have to work on her to make sure she stays active.
Yep. And then this way, when she when we let her out of the pouch and she starts eating, it's a really good way for her to stay or learn when she does go back outside.
The ones that are outside,
Hmm.
the ones that I store outside, they're very active.
Yeah.
I mean, they're running around all the time.
Hmm. Super active. But cool thing about these guys is they're nocturnal, so they'll stay up all night long. And the second they start seeing the sun go down, they'll wake up. They're immediately up, awake, hopping around. That's when they do most of their exercises at nighttime.
In the middle of the night.
In the middle of the night. Yep.
They're up all night.
All night
They
long.
sleep during the day.
Yep.
In the morning.
Mhm.
Sun comes up, they're going to sleep.
Yeah. They're party animals.
That's
So
great.
what do they do all night?
Yeah. There's sometimes we'll come out at like when it gets dark out and we'll check on them and they're all just hopping around. Some of them are playing, some of them are eating. Like they just hang out. They have like the best time ever.
We have some pictures we can show of them, right? We
We
did
have
some
to-
pictures.
Yeah, we'll have to upload them.
We'll show them tomorrow night.
For tomorrow. We'll have to do it for
Yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah.
And but wow, we have some great video even from last year. We might pull some of our old
Yeah.
what we do last year. So how many hours a night do they sleep? Would you say, or a day? How many hours a day?
They'll sleep like
She looks at you.
they'll sleep 12 to 18 hours a day. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, as long as it's light outside, they're usually sleeping.
You're not awake.
Mm-mm.
They're totally nocturnal.
They really like to or resting. They like to conserve their energy because
Today we were there and
Yeah.
it's sun down.
Mhm.
They were waking up then.
Yeah.
that's why you start seeing them hop around because at that time, that's
Sean, how many animals do you overall? How many animals do you are in your care?
it's got to be around 100.
That's a lot,
Yeah, it's a lot.
and they're different.
They're all different species.
So you have different regimens for them, right?
Yeah, so
Would be different. It would
so-
be.
Believe it or not, the way we like to treat our animals.
Get in there, Sean.
I'll get right in the
Got
middle.
you?
I'll sit down right here. So believe it or not, the way I like to treat animals are more like people. So what we do is no matter what the species is, we want to show them a lot of love, a lot of respect, and we give them their space if they need it. And they're from what I found is all animals are very similar when you treat them this way. So whether it's a kangaroo, it's a monkey, it's an otter, it's a lemur. If you show them tons of respect and a lot of love, they return.
So when you say respect, what would that mean to a person that has an animal? How should they show them respect?
So one thing I think a lot of people don't realize is a lot of people or human beings want to be the alpha in a relationship with an animal, and I don't think that's the right way to do it because we don't really know what their culture is. So what I like to do is I let them tell us what to do, and if we do something incorrect, we'll allow them to bite us, yell at us, and tell us, "Hey, that's not what we enjoy or what we like." And that's how we learn from it. So instead of saying no when an animal yells at you, bites you, or scratches you, we want to sit there and take a few seconds to figure out what did we do wrong? What did we do that made them upset? Because, these animals have a different mindset than we might have.
Sure, they have a whole culture, a whole
Absolutely.
background, genetics.
Yep. So we don't really get upset when we're bit, yelled at, or scratched. We just want to figure out what did we do to cause that. And then once we figure out what we did to disrespect them, even though we didn't think it might have been disrespectful, we'll never do that act again.
Right.
And that is what has been, I think, for us, the number one thing to build and bond with these animals. Because we have some incredible relationships with these guys. And I think it's because we, instead of telling them to be more like us, we try to be more like them. So
yeah, so you try to figure out what it is that motivates them.
Yep.
And deal with it.
Yep. And
Some may want to be grabbed.
Yep.
Some may want to come to you
Absolutely.
when they're ready.
Yeah, and we have found that's really important that there are certain animals that never want to be grabbed, where if they come to you, you allow them to do it. And then when they want to leave, instead of restricting them, we allow them to leave whenever they want.
Right.
And they respect that, just like we would.
And then they become closer to you.
Absolutely. I think that's super, super important when it comes to our animals.
Look, you are an extraordinarily happy puppy, I'll tell you that.
She is.
I mean, actually, from here, it looks like a dog puppy too.
All the time.
Kangaroos look very similar to puppies or dogs.
Yeah, and here, yeah.
Very, very similar. And believe it or not, the one thing I love about working with kangaroos is they're very misunderstood. A lot of times when you watch on TV or you watch these shows, you think of them as very aggressive animals, and I like to call them fake news.
The males are thought of as very.
They thought of, but to be honest with you, they're really not as aggressive as you think. They're just practicing their art and trying to get better at protecting their mob.
They practice with their friends. I mean, they practice with a friendly. Like your two guys practice all the time.
Absolutely.
And usually it's their family members. It's their younger sons that they're raising to teaching them how to do better for their families. Like it's a really incredible concept that they live by.
The way I like to explain it is if you walked into an MMA gym or a boxing gym and you were an alien from another planet, you would probably think we're the most aggressive things on this planet. But most of the people in an MMA gym or a boxing gym are going to finish sparring and then go out for a smoothie or a lunch. They'll shake hands and So it's the same thing with male kangaroos. They want to try to get better at their art
in case they have to
use it.
So that they're particularly the males, it's their role to protect.
Absolutely. And unfortunately for us as a human, if you get in the middle of that, it's going to hurt us where it may have not hurt a male kangaroo as much, but they want to practice with us. So they get a bad rap as aggressive animals, the males, but they're really not. They're super smart. They're really affectionate animals, and they really love practicing as much as they possibly can because they want to get better and better at wrestling, grappling, and boxing.
And the females, do they wrestle, grapple, and box at all?
Not as much. The females, their number one priority in life is to raise a family, and moms raise their child. They do amazing. And grandmas, when they can't have babies anymore, it's really important to allow.
Really?
Yep. It's really important for the grandmothers to allow some sort of, working with their grandchildren. If not, they can end up getting so depressed and passing away from something like that. So
do the grandmas interfere?
The grandmas will legitimately
with mama?
No, but they'll help. They'll groom their babies when they come out of the pouch.
You don't get an interfering grandma? Like happens with humans. She thinks she knows it better than mama?
You might, but I think the kangaroo mom understands that grandma knows more.
Oh.
So they're
what you're saying is
no fighting.
you can't exclude grandma, otherwise
You
grandma's
can't.
going to get very depressed.
No, because it's incredible. Even in the wild, the females always stay together, which is pretty amazing. The males will leave that mob and find other mobs to join. But where all the females will legitimately stay together forever, which is pretty awesome. And it
So
just
the
shows how
alpha male in the wild will change.
yep, an
quite a
alpha
bit.
male can breed with a whole group of females, and then it could end up leaving. Or if it has babies, those male babies will leave and find different mobs to go and hang out with. But a lot of times they'll come back to their old mob where their family is. And what's impressed me the most about kangaroos more than anything else, and I've been around a lot of animals, this is the only animal on the planet that I have actually seen and witnessed hugging and kissing like human beings. So, and my daughter will tell you the same thing.
Yeah.
We've seen them hug each other like a real hug.
It's the cutest thing in the whole
And then
world.
kiss each other on the lips to greet them, to say, "Hey, I missed you. It's been a couple of days or a couple of weeks since I've seen you last." And what's even more incredible than that is they have done the same thing to me and her. They have
When you're away and come back,
Mhm.
come back,
greet
they
you.
will greet us with a big hug and a kiss right on the lips. And I've been around a lot of primates and a lot of different animals. I've never seen that happen
You
except
see,
for with the kangaroo.
exceptional. You're very exceptional.
They are incredible.
You are very
animals.
exceptional. Man.
Wow.
Yeah, they're the best.
So when the baby is a male in with all the females, at some point it's going to leave all the females.
Yes, in the wild.
And how about with you?
So what
How
we-
long does the male stay in that little group of females?
So what we typically do when we have a new male, we like to neuter them. This
Okay.
way, they doesn't feel like there's a fight for I want to become an alpha one day.
I see.
So
I see.
to make it easier on our mob of kangaroos, we like to neuter the younger males. This way, there's no issues in the future.
And can they stay with the females then?
Then there's no issues.
Oh, wow. That ends the whole thing?
Yep.
And they act like basically no different than the females?
Correct. Just a little
course.
bit bigger because they will grow bigger than the
And
females.
any more aggressive? I mean, any
Not
more
really.
willing to fight or?
Mm-mm.
No,
So it's all the hormones that do it.
absolutely.
Wow.
Same thing in humans.
So now,
Very
if you
similar.
took that male that's been neutered, put him in with the males, what would happen?
Nothing. We do that now. We've got
He wouldn't fight with them.
nope.
No.
But now, if you took a young male who wasn't neutered, he would begin to spar with them. a little.
Yes.
They begin to train him right away, right?
Yep. They want to train and spar.
Right from the beginning, they
From the
start.
beginning.
Yeah, they wouldn't attack him.
No.
They would begin to train him.
Yeah. I mean, our two alpha males, we ended up having to do a slow introduction and allow them to get to know each other. And they do phenomenal with one another. And they're
Very
both really big alpha males. They both have had a lot of relationships with our females and they're best friends. Like we find them cuddling and hanging out
Yep.
together.
Would you introduce a third alpha at some point?
It's anything is possible, but at this point, I'd rather two just in case, unless we built a third area. Because right now we have two areas for kangaroos, so
Right.
we don't want.
So you
anyone
need
to
more.
feel
If you were going to
threatened.
have more, but then you'd have to really be careful how you built that relationship with
Right.
a new alpha.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. And then tell us about one other. What's the other animal that people are the most interested in when they come here?
I'd say the most interested animal when people come here are the otters. The otters,
And we saw them before.
they're incredible. They otters and sloths, I think, are probably.
Yeah, so you told us about
The
this.
sloths.
I think those are the two main animals that people really come here for. And then what's really awesome about it is that they didn't realize how much they'd fall in love with the kangaroos, though. So
Yeah.
I was the kangaroos. I wanted to see the kangaroos.
the kangaroos
It's
are
been very interesting. I've been to Australia a fair number of times and heard the good stuff and the bad stuff about them and always wanted to resolve it.
what's weird about
Now I know how good you guys are.
Yeah, they're amazing.
in Australia, they're considered a pest. Just like here in, in
yeah.
Florida, they would be considered more like a boar or a pig. They're considered a pest in Australia, but here, obviously, we don't have the same issues they have there. But there are more kangaroos in Australia than human beings,
Mhm.
which is
Yeah,
unbelievable.
there are four times more kangaroos than people in Australia. Isn't that crazy?
Nobody actually kills them, right?
Over there, they cull 1 million of them every year.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
1 million.
1 million a year, at least 1 million a year, to keep the population down as much as they can. And what's incredible about that is if you were able to spend a couple of minutes with a kangaroo, you would realize how incredible of a heart they have.
Oh my.
You go in and shoot them.
Yep.
Yeah.
We've had people come out here that have lived in Australia their whole lives and meet our kangaroos and tell us that they have never realized how incredible kangaroos are until coming here and meeting them.
Now, kangaroos, in the defense of some people that live in Australia, they do completely decimate farmlands.
Okay.
So there is some issues over there. They
You got a few little problem.
Yeah.
But that said, just like here with cattle,
You don't want to let go.
these animals are
He's holding your hand.
extremely intelligent. They are very social and they have hearts like you could not imagine. I couldn't imagine living without spending time with kangaroos, to be honest with you. It is it is one of the most incredible feelings in the world, be able to spend our lives hanging out with some of these animals because they are so intelligent. They're the only animal I've ever been around in my entire life that hug and kiss each other and us. And I've been around a lot of animals.
Yeah.
That
different. It's
blows
different.
me away.
These are different.
Yeah.
Different,
100%.
way different.
Do they interact with other animals?
All of the babies that we have in the house that we're raising right now get along with all of our dogs. We've had our
With
monkeys in the
with
house.
baby dogs?
With even I have
Other
a
dog.
I have a big dog. He's almost 140 pounds, and they love him. He's a very sweet dog. He is a very good boy, but they love him. And then they're around our monkeys, but the monkeys don't really pay him much mind. But if they're around them at a young age and they can realize that that animal's not going to cause harm to them, they
Right.
can live with anything. They're very docile animals.
Very. And they're the sweetest things on this planet. But unfortunately,
There are many of them. Yeah.
there's a lot of them. And unfortunately, in dog food, you would find kangaroo in dog food. So dogs are a predator, and their natural predator in Australia would be the dingo, which is another type of dog.
So would dogs attack them here?
They could be threatened by dogs for sure.
By wild dogs?
Now, our dogs have been raised around these guys, so it's a little bit different. But regularly, dogs could be a threat to
Or would it be a domesticated dog or a wild dog?
both.
So a domesticated dog might not know the difference.
Correct.
Mhm.
Who would eat,
They could.
go after for food?
They could.
There's been instances in Australia where domesticated dogs have gotten into some serious problems with wild kangaroos.
Kangaroo could be bigger than a kangaroo.
Yes.
Children.
Yep.
Yeah.
They put them in headlocks.
Well, there's a
Yeah.
viral video online of a kangaroo, and I don't know if Ted, maybe you could throw this in later on or at another time, but there's a viral video in Australia of a kangaroo getting a dog in a headlock and a human being coming over to get his dog away from the kangaroo. So and
We'll have to find it.
yeah, it's a very viral video. It's hundreds of millions of views, if not billions.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just shows the fact that in Australia, dingoes, which they eat kangaroos,
Dingo is the wild dog.
is a wild dog
Yeah.
in Australia. Now, what's incredible in a kangaroo is they're so smart. They figured out that they can stand way taller on their tail. So to defend themselves from a dingo, they'll actually jump in the water. So the dingo has to swim, has no feet on the ground, but the kangaroo will have its tail on the ground and can defend itself way better by grabbing a dingo and putting it in a headlock. So underwater, right? So what's very misunderstood is everyone thinks of kangaroos as boxers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
In fact,
grapplers. They're incredible grapplers where they can get you in chokeholds.
Humans?
Yeah, humans and animals.
so they're multifaceted.
Yes, they are like
They're
really
wrestlers
sweet
and
fighters.
boxers.
Like if Dana White can grab a kangaroo and put the, you
Yeah.
wouldn't want to do
No,
that.
but I mean, but you
But that's the most
occasionally you'll see the videos of a human boxing with
Right.
with a kangaroo. Yeah.
right. But I think of them more as grapplers. They're great chokeholds. They get in a lot of headlock moves. They're very good grapplers. That's why whenever we watch males sparring with each other, it's a lot of grapple moves and a lot of headlocks, which is really cool. And then once they headlock you, then they'll use their feet to punch. And we think of punching with our hands, but when a kangaroo punches, it's going to be with their feet. It's not going to be as much with their hands because their hands, they want to hold you. They want to hold you still for a little bit, and then they're going to use their tail to plant on the ground, and they'll use their feet. Now, the most incredible part of how a kangaroo uses their feet is they don't really do this like everyone thinks.
Yeah.
They're going to do this right when they come to impact, right beforehand.
You hear this?
Put their feet
You're
down,
getting some lessons here.
and this one toe right
You
here,
might need it someday.
this one nail,
Particularly
instead of
come to
impacting,
New York.
is going to then it'll open up their sternum.
You put you on the subway, do some patrolling.
Yeah, these guys would probably do a better job on the
Ah,
subway
but
right now.
yeah, come on. To take care of those crazy Biden illegal migrants.
Do you put night vision cameras out there and ever look at what they're doing throughout the night?
We have night vision scopes that we use to make sure that we protect all our animals in the area. But yeah, it's very
They're active. Like right now, it's their
right now it's their daytime. They're going to be more active.
They do. during the day.
Absolutely.
Big area.
Maybe she doesn't like it.
Absolutely.
If she liked it. No, huh? It's for the dog. Yeah, the dog is looking actually.
Yeah, he'll take it.
Wow, this hour really flew by. We're already
All right, well,
soccer time.
I hope you all enjoyed it tonight. A little time off from all the rigors of the world, which are unfortunately, well, we'll get back to that tomorrow. But aren't these animals wonderful? And the more you can know about them,
And what?
you know, now this is for the dog. Okay, he knows. I mean, she knows.
The Kalen family.
She knows. Aren't they wonderful?
What a great
I'm
family.
telling you, if you get a chance, you got to come. Animaladventure.com. Just get on there. You'll get all the information about when you can reserve. And they also, I guess, through that can get a lot of the videos, right?
Oh, go check out their social media.
Their videos are fabulous. Some of their videos are really fabulous.
What's your handle? Social media?
So Instagram, TikTok, and is at Animal Adventures. Facebook is at Animal Adventure Park, I believe.
Sit in there. There we go.
Yeah, I'll sit in here.
There we go. There's Sean. There's a guy you started this 14, 15 years ago?
We started this about, it's about 11, 12 years ago now. We started it very small at Bedner's Farm Fresh Market, which is in Boynton Beach. And we're very thankful that the Bedner family allowed us to come out there, which has been pretty awesome. And we've grown unbelievable amounts through social media, which has been amazing. And
Social media actually you sort of grew up with social media.
yeah,
Think about it, right?
absolutely. Without social media, we wouldn't be doing as well as we have been doing now. And believe it or not, because we're here in Florida, COVID actually helped us out a little bit because we were able to do things here in South Florida,
Separate.
right? That we wouldn't be able
Which you
to
probably
do.
didn't have to do anyway.
Right.
Separate.
So it ended up we took a really, really negative situation and turned it into a positive one. Thank God.
The animals get COVID?
No, but there were a couple of animals that could get COVID. So we
Oh.
were working with FWC. Otters, believe it or not, were the most susceptible to COVID. Otters, ferrets, and animals like that. So
Wow.
we had to be very careful with them at the time.
Wow, that's interesting. I never even thought of that. Animals during COVID.
Yeah, so a lot of fur farms, I guess, that would be using ferrets and minks had serious issues with COVID. Yeah, because not only did you have to worry about giving an animal COVID, but you can also get it from an animal.
Oh.
And in this family of animals, we were told to be very careful.
You have so many of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So we took a lot of we made our measures very secure when it was handling them through COVID. But thankfully, everything worked out. Knock on wood. And we couldn't do what we do today without our incredible animals, which are just awesome.
So we have people listening. Before we go, they want to come and visit. Maybe give them a quick rundown on what they can expect, and
Sure.
what a visit to the Animal Adventure Park and Safari would be like.
Sure. So we have a couple of locations. We have 2 locations in Boynton Beach, Florida. One of is our animal park. It's located at Benner's Farm. And then you could come out here to our private property. It's reservation only. And it's $25 per person. It includes a sloth encounter and a kangaroo encounter. You legitimately go inside our kangaroo area. We get to meet all of our kangaroos, pet them, learn about them, and take some pictures with them. You also get to pet our sloth, learn lots about them, and then meet all the rest of our animals. We've got camels, zebras, foxes, capybaras, sheep, goats, donkeys, cows, camels. Pretty much everything you could expect. Yeah.
We saw a camel, a big camel.
Full grown camels. We have 5 of them on property.
We have horses too.
Yeah, we got horses too.
Forget, there's so much here. I would recommend it to anyone, right, Mayor?
Yeah. And the otters. Don't you have a little special program with the otters?
Yep. So we do a behind the scenes tour where you can
I
play
saw
with
that.
otters, you can swim with otters. We do some incredible otter stuff that not many people in the entire world have the ability
Extraordinarily
to do.
friendly.
Yeah, unbelievable. They are one of the most incredible animals on the planet. And
They're very, very friendly. Of course, very industrious. That's
Yep.
what they're well known for.
yep,
Now,
absolutely.
the sloths are the ones that surprise me because when you think of a sloth, you just think of a lazy,
Right.
right? But
Well-
tell me, for many people, this is the most exciting thing in their life to come and see a sloth.
Absolutely. So people come out here from all over the world to visit our sloths because what you had said is right. Most people think of sloths as super lazy and slow, but what most people don't realize is there's multiple species of sloth. There are 2-toed sloths and there are 3-toed sloths. So the slowest species on the planet for mammals is a 3-toed sloth. Those guys you'll find in Costa Rica.
Do they literally have 3 toes?
They have 3 toes and 3 fingers. Now, the sloths that we have here are a little bit different. They're 2-toed sloths, even though they have 3 toes, but they have 2 fingers.
I see.
Those sloths are a little bit different than you would see on the news or you'd see on Nat Geo or you'd even see in some of these cartoon movies like Zootopia. These 2-toed sloths are a lot more, they're a lot faster. They're a lot, they're way more different than a 3-toed sloth.
And
So
energetic, more energetic.
way more energetic. I mean, they
Are
move
are
quick.
the other sloths really lazy like that?
Yeah, they're so 3-toed sloths move like this,
And they just spend their whole life like that?
a whole life like that. 2-toed sloths pretend to be like that, but they can move fast. I mean, it's
So
incredible.
they'll move fast if they have to.
They move fast
And
if
what,
they have to.
and what do they eat?
They eat most of the time in the wild. They eat leaves,
Okay.
and then they also lick their fur, which would have lots of different insects, bugs, and algae growing on their fur.
Uh-huh.
Now, the sloths that we have here, what makes it so rare is that our 2-toed sloths. There's only a few places in the United States of America that have sloths that actually enjoy human interaction. We never, ever, ever would have an animal that doesn't want to interact with an animal, a
Right,
human, do
right.
that. But our sloths, legitimately, when we walk in, they want to be around people. So that's the only reason we allow people to
But
interact.
you
with
only
sloths.
found that out here because they had the chance to do it because they don't usually
Yeah,
get the chance.
They don't usually get the chance to do it, and they normally don't want to. But we have 2 sloths here that legitimately like people more than sloths. And if you go into the wild, sloths are solitary animals. They would rather be on their own.
Mhm.
They only mate. Their mating season is about 3 days a year. So when they do mate, it's only for a couple of days,
And then they go off on
and
their
then they're done. And what's sad about sloths is, what's incredible at their mating season is a female will scream so loud in the wild, and that gets the attention of all the males, right? And we know sloths are pretty slow if it's a 3-toed sloth. So they'll hear that scream. They could be walking from a mile away. By the time they get to that branch where they find that female, it's over. She's done.
somebody else found it.
Someone else found her first. And then, so that's a real dangerous for a sloth to be moving on the ground, right? You're talking about you're living in an area where there's a lot of predators. So if the sloth actually makes it, gets up the tree, they could actually be yelled at by the female, like, "Hey, I'm done. Like, I don't want to be around you no
I
more.
already got pregnant.
Go away." Right. So
What was yelling at?
then they gotta like, okay, I gotta go find another tree. It's one of the craziest things ever.
Now, what about
Tree?
No, they are very, think about it. So they eat leaves, right? So if they have too many sloths in one tree, those leaves will be decimated in a very short period of time. So they could share a tree, but then they're going to have to go find more food, which becomes more dangerous because then you're going to have to worry about like ocelots and jaguars that can run up a tree and grab a sloth.
right?
And then even crazier, imagine having to worry about what's coming from the ground up. Now you got to worry about what's coming from the sky, which is like a harpy eagle with an 8-foot wingspan this big, which will swoop down and grab a sloth right off a tree. So it's one of the most dangerous lives you can possibly have.
They don't go fast, so-
No, and they're not fast.
In a way, their slowness is a protection
Absolutely, because
Because
they can blend in
because
and stay still.
it's easier to find something moving.
Yep, absolutely. He's right.
So even if you're a bird and you're looking, You might not see them. They're all blended in. They're all
Right.
blended. They never move.
Because a sloth is going to sit like this, they're going to grow algae and moss all over their
It just
body
looks
to
like
blend in.
this.
It just looks like a part of the tree.
But when the poor guy is moving to get
Yes.
sex, when he's moving to get a little sex, that's when they
Yeah,
might break.
that's when he's screwed. That's the most dangerous time of their life. That and going to the bathroom, because sloth only goes to the bathroom once every 7 to 8 days. And when they go to the bathroom, crazy, they have to come down to the bottom of a tree. So they have to actually climb down a bottom of a tree to go to the bathroom
Why?
because they.
Play to the slot.
No, I think we can actually get a sloth. Hold on one second. Well, let me just tell the story real quick because it's incredible. So remember I told you a sloth has algae and moss growing all over it, right? And there's lots of bugs and insects. So the reason why a sloth comes down to the bottom of a tree is when they go to the bathroom, they're gonna poop right on the floor. And when they poop, those bugs and insects that are living on the sloth's fur, those bugs and insects actually hop off of them, and then they lay eggs in sloth poop. Now so it's really, really important. So the sloths actually
So they get rid of all their itchy bugs and
for a few minutes, but then what
Who's the eggs in this?
the bugs and insects that were living on the sloth lay the eggs in the poop. Now the sloth will then send a signal to these bugs and insects that they're done pooping, and they want them to catch a ride back up the tree. And the reason why they want them to is because not only do they eat leaves, but they'll lick the algae and moss off them. And the way to get the extra protein and nutrients is by licking and eating some of those insects that are living on their hair, which is pretty incredible, right? So that to me is the
World is-
it's like an ecosystem within
It's
one
all
animal, right?
So they invite the bugs to come with them,
Yeah.
so they can eat them later.
Yep, it's incredible. So the bugs want to go too, right? Because they want to go back up to the top of the
The
tree.
good thing about bugs is they're stupid and don't realize they're going to get
They
eaten.
have no idea, and it's incredible. So the way
It's
the
been going on for 10,000
Yep.
years, but they haven't figured it out.
and the way the sloth gets the bugs off them to let them know it's going to the bathroom is they shake their butt around while they're pooping, and that's the signal to the bugs to jump off. And then when they're done shaking their butt, the bugs look up and they're like, okay, they're ready to go back up, and they'll hop back onto the fur and catch a ride up to the tree.
Now, the two-toed sloth, how do they operate any differently?
It's
Now, what
that
is
all
this
is very similar. The big
Same thing,
difference is
up and down the
up and
tree,
down the
up-
tree. Now the big difference is the three-toed sloth are great swimmers, believe it that or not,
Slow, but great swimmers.
but fast in the water.
I see.
Now two-toed sloths are not good swimmers at all,
No.
even though they're faster on land. Like I've raced the sloth on land, like
Right.
on the ground. It's pretty incredible. Shawnee, can you see if Al can grab Slophia? Do we have time for Slophia?
We do, if you can get it now, right?
Yeah.
Can you just see if we can get Slophia for 2 seconds? We'll see if that. Yeah, but I think Slophia would be awesome on here. It would be nice to show.
Right. Get it.
That would be fabulous. Shall we sign off and then do that specially?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. So we'll tell everyone good night, and we'll have this on a special, and we'll let you know about it. And hasn't it been fabulous? Hasn't Sean been? I mean, this whole family is dedicated to this.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think you are fabulous. And what you've done for our country and the state of New York has been incredible. And we fully support you 1,000,000%.
Well, Sean,
And we couldn't thank you enough for what you do
Well,
for all of us.
Oh, I can't thank you enough. And once again, remember, tomorrow's Friday, right?
Right.
Okay. Tomorrow, WABCRadio.com at 3, 8 o'clock tonight, back on.
Who will be tomorrow? then?
Anything else you want, you hit subscribe, and you got everything. And don't forget the weekend, Uncovering the Truth. So we got plenty of time to talk about other things. But I thought tonight was fascinating. You let me know, okay? God bless the people of Israel. God bless the people of the United States. And God bless America.
Our purpose to bring to bear the principle of common sense and rational discussion to the issues of our day. America was created at a time of great turmoil, tremendous disagreements, anger, hatred. There was a book written in 1776 that guided much of the discipline of thinking that brought to us the discovery of our freedoms, of our God-given freedoms. It was Thomas Paine's Common Sense, written in 1776, one of the first American bestsellers. in which Thomas Paine explained, by rational principles, the reason why these small colonies felt the necessity to separate from the Kingdom of Great Britain and the King of England. He explained their inherent desire for liberty, for freedom, freedom of religion, freedom of speech, the ability to select the people who govern them. And he explained it in ways that were understandable to all the people, not just the elite. Because the desire for freedom is universal. The desire for freedom adheres in the human mind, and it is part of the human soul. This is exactly the time we should consult our history. Look at what we've done in the past and see if we can't use it to help us now. We understand that our founders created the greatest country in the history of the world, the greatest democracy, the freest country, a country that has taken more people out of poverty than any country ever. All of us are so fortunate to be Americans. But a great deal of the reason for America's constant ability to self-improve is because we're able to reason, we're able to talk, we're able to analyze. We are able